everyone, welcome back. Today we are going to do a different new color palette. We are going to do, I have decided, brown and pink. So I have pulled in my Blick Matte Paints brown and red medium, black and white. And I like these because for this type project it's better paint than craft paint, but less expensive than your artist paints. So I do like how these work in a project like this. It's perfect for a sketchbook. I like that it has a bunch of convenience colors, which, you know, with all this mixing has been super duper fun. I'm just going to tape my page off here with some 1/2" painter's tape, and I just try to be real careful not to stick it down too much, but I do want my columns to be defined columns. I have decided that's my favorite part of this color palette page, and so I'm gonna bend the tip too, because you know how many times I get to the top and I can't pull the tape from the top. So be real careful using tape on this paper. This paper does tear very easily. So I use my heat gun to get these off if you haven't seen the other videos in this series. And I think we are at color palette number 20. So talk about a crazy good resource for yourself in doing something like this. The colors are surprising. This is the Dina Wakley Ledger that I'm using, and since it just came out when I'm making these, like literally this month, these debuted. I'm hoping that these will be around for at least a year or more because I love them. Buy them now, buy some extras, and then look at this reference library that we're creating just off of 2 colors, white and black, and you get all these variations that are kind of quite surprising. And then I love that we paint next to it because then we can see what that color palette might do for us. My goal is not for this to be some amazing masterpiece. It's more of play and fun and experimenting and discovering and just seeing like what can you do with that color palette. And then some of these have ended up being like super favorites. Like this is a super favorite, and I love this yellow and purple. And even on the day that I'm painting them, I might leave kind of like, was that my favorite? Did I like it? Did I not like it? I'm not sure. And then I come back and look at these and I'm like, oh my goodness, I love them so much. Like weirdly enough, this one, I love it. And I'm not even a mauve person, but I love it. So this has been such a joy to create these. This one, total surprise, and it's a fave at the end. But we went through a whole bunch of ugly stages, or at least I thought they were. And then when we pulled it off at the end, it's one of my very favorite pages. And who knew that brown and orange could be so pretty? So then you can really discover like what color palettes might I go back to, what was surprising. Don't stick it down too hard. I'm trying to tell myself these things. But this is like the greatest reference library ever. Like you're creating yourself something amazing. Alright, so we've got brown. Let's just put that up there. I've just got some water over here that I've just been painting watercolor, so hopefully I don't stick my brush in the water every single time I get into a habit. And then I change paint mediums and it's hard to break that habit, but I do want a clean color to begin with. So and I like using gesso for my white a lot of times because especially with acrylic paint, it makes it super spreadable and it gives it a tiny bit of grit, so it makes it easier for things to stick on top of it. But for mixing, I have discovered that white does better for mixing. Gesso does better for spreading. Alright, let's see what we got. Let's get started. Okay, so I like to do the first color and then start adding white into that first color. And then each time just mixing a little more white just to kind of see the different shades and variations that you can get with just a little bit of white, and then add a little more white, and then add a little more white. And I'm not trying to do specific ratios or anything. I want this to be fun and low stress and just delightful as we're going, so I'm not making this hard with a lot of pressure on myself. So I want you to approach it in that way, unless of course you already are past the pressure on yourself and you're like, I really want to make myself a true reference library, and you want to keep track of all that stuff, then definitely do that if that's where you're at in your art journey. I just love this idea, and I wanted to do it for myself and spread it around with y'all and just show you some other fun stuff to do in your journals, or you can do this on pieces of paper. I consider these color palette pages pieces of art in themselves, and I love them. So this is a mix of the pink and the brown, and then adding white in that to see what colors we can get, lightening those up. And then next I'll go to the pink. So let's do some pink here. And then we'll start adding the white in with the pink. And then next I'll go back and add the black in with all of those and see what that gives us. Alright, so let's go back with the brown. I'm not worried about there being a tiny bit of other color in my brush. It's going to mix in anyway. I'm just not trying to be too exact. I just want to have fun and give myself some approximations of what we can get. And then if there's, a color that I love, I know how I got it, and I'll go back to it at that point. I wonder how I got black in that. So if it's colors that you need to know exactly what they are, then definitely keep track of ratios. I don't need to do that for this. This is fun for me. This is experimenting and play. Alright, so then I want to add some black in with the pink and the brown. So let's get some pink and some brown. And some black. And I have discovered through some of these color palettes the most beautiful shades of dark without it having to be black. Which is kind of nice that you can discover different shades and tints of black without everything having to be black. Okay, so now that I've done that, I kind of want to add in, that's the mix. I need to add in some pink with some black. And then I'll go back in and add some white in with these and see like what colors of gray we can get. So let's go back in now and start adding in some white with some of these mixes and just see what that gives us. Like this one is pretty. Look at that. Whew, pretty. We get some of the prettiest like taupey gray colors doing this. Maybe a little bit of white in with this pinky color. Maybe a little bit of white in with whatever that was that we mixed the brown with the black. Ooh, look at that. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're going to call that good. I'm going to rinse some of that paint out of there. I didn't really even need to do that. I want to paint over here. You can see I get to paint with the different mediums and then I forget what I want to do. And I did not want to wash all the paint out, but there we go. we'll do it anyway for a moment. So I need to pull this up before that tape really sets in and that paper gets wet around that paint. So let's pull the tape up first. Okay, it did kind of grab the paper for me on this one side. So I can either paint it and blend it in, which I could do. I could just go ahead and put some paint up there. And just pretend it went all the way. Or you could just leave it and it can just be part of the paper. And now we are going to use our colors and just see what we can create today. And I like to use gesso in there too, because again, it just makes it spreadable. I've got clear gesso and white gesso. And I'm just going to go for the white gesso. It'll just give me some tints and shades of my colors here. And I like the writing on the page, so I'm trying not to be 100% on some of these and like cover them too much. So maybe I'll go in with some of my big kind of ovally shapes that I like. That's pretty fun to start with. I think I'll add some, we'll let this dry and we'll do a little bit of stencil work and mark making, and I think that's going to look really good. So let me let this dry for a moment and I'll be right back. Alright, I think we're dry. You gotta have that dry, because if you put a stencil on top of that kind of wet, this is not good. And I think I want to do the stencil in like this darker color but not black, so that's like a little pink. So it's pink with a little black. So let's just mix some of that up while we're over here. And we might even mix a tiny bit of brown in that. Okay, I think we're there. And so, just gonna pick up some of that paint with my ink blending brush. And I'm gonna use this stencil here, which is a Stencil Girl. This one was Stencil Club, so it's only on that Stencil Club page, and it's 11 of 2015 Stencil Club, so they don't name these, but it's In Dreams Our Truths Are Revealed. How cool is that? And I'm going to do it this way, kind of going off the page, so you can't really see the entire saying, but I'm kind of doing that on purpose. And so just going to go for it right on top of what we've already got going and just see what does that do for us. Let's just try it out. I'm kind of feeling it. I like these graffiti ones in this book. They have really spoke to me. I've really enjoyed them. So kind of feel that's a good direction with this page, because I've never used this stencil, and this was something, a project like this is perfect for using stencils and stuff that you've not pulled out before. It's a good chance to test out all your supplies that you're like, what does this do, that you haven't pulled out. Okay, I feel like I gotta go back up here with a little more of this darker shade that I just pulled out of that, because it had less pink when I added some black there, but I was running out of color. And this is just an ink blending brush that I'm putting this on with. All right, are we gonna like it? Let's see what we reveal here. Oh, that's super cool, actually. Okay, yes, I love it. Our truths are, you can almost read revealed. I'm super cool with that. That was fun. And I do want to go ahead and write what these colors were, because I do go ahead and write what I'm using so I don't forget later. But I do have the benefit of coming back and looking at videos, whereas on yours you'll just want to make note of what you used, even if you don't, you know, write down ratios or nothing for the rest of it. I'm kind of going in the same order: one color with white, a mix with the white, the second color with the white, and then all three of those with the black. So I kind of know, okay, I did brown with white to get that. I did brown and pink together with white to get that. I did pink with white to get that. And then these are those same mixes with black. And so I can kind of, you know, narrow down how I got to a color, even if I didn't write down ratios of how I got there. But this is super cool. I'm actually loving that page. Super fun. Okay, I'm gonna call this one good for today. I hope you enjoyed painting with me, and I'll see you guys next time.